Hey guys, Ivy here. My husband got me a ring light phone stand for Christmas and he gave it to me early so that I can make some videos for you guys with it. Hopefully the lighting in my videos is now improved. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Filming with a stand is new to me, so I am working on trying to get angles right and stuff like that. If you guys have any suggestions on ways I can make the videos better, please let me know below. Today I thought I would film a little get ready with me where I can talk about books that I'm considering for my December TBR. So I'm gonna put on my makeup while we talk about books. I've already put in my contacts and prepped my skin, so let's just get started with the makeup. So first I'll be using this. It is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, which is a tinted hydrating gel cream, and I use the shade Opal 01. This will cover some of my discoloration, but leave my skin feeling and looking a little bit more natural than my foundation would. So while I paint this onto my face, let's talk holidays. I love most holidays in general. As a pagan, I celebrate Yule, but growing up, me and my husband were both raised Christian, so we did celebrate Christmas growing up. This year we're going to visit my family for Christmas. I will be there for a week, which means that I will be missing the beginning of Yule, which I believe is on the 21st of December. For those of you that don't know, Yule and Christmas are very similar as far as traditions go, because early Christians actually took the traditions of pagans and incorporated them into their holidays as well. And why else would you bring a whole ass tree into your house or kiss under a poisonous plant? Those are all very pagan things because pagans often worship nature. When you know those things about paganism versus like Christianity, the Christian holidays seem to make a lot more sense, at least the traditions. So in the spirit of celebrating both Yule and Christmas this year, I am going to be reading both pagan books and Christmassy books this season, as well as some other books, but I wanted to mostly focus on the books that make sense for the season that we're in. Next, I'm going to be putting on my concealer, which is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer, and I use the shade CW00. This will help brighten my dark circles and cover up some of my acne, and I'll also use it to highlight certain parts of my face. Sorry that I keep making weird faces. It's hard to put on makeup while you're looking in a camera. Anyway, back to books for the holidays. As far as pagan books go, I have quite a few to choose from. I'm definitely going to start with the Nordic Book of Runes by Jonathan Dee, which is the newest book in my witchy collection. I want to start with this one because it's a short guidebook to a divination technique that I've been wanting to learn for a while. I also have another book about runes that I want to read this season, which is Runes for Beginners by Lisa Chamberlain. I really love Lisa Chamberlain's books. They're all really short reads that are super informative while still being really easy to read. So if you're interested in learning about paganism or witchcraft or Wicca, I definitely recommend looking into Lisa Chamberlain. I also think that I will read Of Witchcraft and Whimsy by Rose Auriculum. I've had this book for a while, but I haven't gotten to it yet because I have a lot of books on witchcraft and a lot of books in general, and so I don't always have time to get to all of the ones that I have bought for myself, but this one's pretty short, and so I want to give it a try. It goes through some of the basics of witchcraft and also includes a bunch of spell work to try at home, which I think will be nice. And then I think I'm gonna read one more pagan book this season, and that is Yule by Susan Pesnecker. It's part of the Llewellyn Sabbath Essentials collection, and I know these books are very popular in the community, but I've never actually read any of them, so I'm looking forward to giving one of them a shot. I'm going to be listening to it on Audible, and we'll see what I think. If you guys want a review of any of the pagan books that I'm reading, just let me know in the comments below. Make sure all my concealer is blend it in. A lot of my makeup is just kind of face painting with my fingers. Okay, now I'm going to put on blush. I'm using Wet n Wild's blush in the color Pinch Me Pink. It has a bit of glimmer to it, so I really like it, and I'm going to be putting it on my eyes instead of eyeshadow because of that kind of glimmery look to it, as well as on my cheeks where blush usually goes. And I really want to blend it out because it's quite bright. For my Christmassy reads, I was thinking I wanted some feel-good, cozy reads with a winter Christmassy theme. To me that means romance or mysteries or classics, because those are all really cozy to me. The first book on my Christmassy list is The Christmas Pact by V. Keeland and Penelope Ward. A Christmas romance. I get the impression from the synopsis that it has an office rivals turned fake dating turned lovers kind of vibe to it. And I love everything about those tropes, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. The next book that I'm still kind of considering is called Jane and the 12 Days of Christmas by Stephanie Barron. It's a fictional story about Jane Austen and her family, and they get together for Christmas, and then there's a suspicious death at the celebration. So it's like a murder mystery starring a fictional portrayal of Jane Austen. And for those of you that have followed me on Instagram for a while, you know I am hugely obsessed with Jane Austen and even more hugely obsessed with murder mysteries. The only reason that I'm only considering this book is that it's a bit longer than some of the others, and so I am not sure whether or not I'll have time to get to it. But if I do, I'm very much looking forward to that one. Now I'm going to put on my mascara. The mascara I've been using lately is Rimmel London Scandal Eyes Retro Glam in the color Extreme Black. I tend to make really weird faces when I put my mascara on, so I'm going to put my mascara on off camera and then I'll come back and we can talk more about books. So the mascara is on. Let's talk about a couple of Christmas classics that are on my list that I would really like to get to this year. The first classic I'd like to get to this year is Midwinter Murder by Agatha Christie. As I stated earlier, I adore murder mysteries, and they kind of give me a cozy feeling, which sounds really weird, but I have this vision of curling up with a murder mystery book on a winter night, especially a murder mystery that's set in winter, and like having a cup of like peppermint tea and just curling up and reading this book on a cold winter's night. And there's something so cozy and aesthetically pleasing to me about that. I also really love the formula of murder mysteries. I love that the murder usually gets solved and the murderer is brought to justice and they get their just desserts. Something really appealing to me about the whole feel-good, justice is served story. Now I'm gonna do my lips. I have lately really liked a very glossy lip, in part because it's winter and my lips get really chapped in winter because I have dry skin, and in part just because I think the glossy look is very pretty with this whole look. So I'm gonna start with Burt Bee's glossy lipstick in the color Blush Ripple. For my last classic read, I would really like to read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I've always wanted to read that story for Christmas and I've never gotten around to it, but it's a really short read and a cozy classic. I've seen multiple film versions of A Christmas Carol and I absolutely love them, so I am hoping that that is one I can get to this year. Next, I'm going to put on the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Tiramisu. On top of the butter gloss, I'm going to put my Neutrogena Moisture Shine Lip Soother in the color Gleam 40. If you guys have any suggestions for more seasonal books for me, that would be really great. Please leave them in the comments below. I am hoping to read an additional about 20 books before the end of the year in order to get to my goal of 100 books by the end of the year. So I am a little behind. Hopefully I can get to it. If not, there's always next year, but I would definitely appreciate your suggestions in the comments below. So last is setting spray, which I use the Maybelline New York Lasting Fix setting spray. And it's very refreshing, so I use a lot of it. I will definitely be reading some books this year that are not seasonal. I'm going to be reading the Percy Jackson series a little bit more with my husband. We started that about a month or two ago. We're also considering reading Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows on our way back from visiting my family for Christmas. I'm also reading Knight of the Silver Circle by Duncan Hamilton, which is being lent to me by a friend of mine, so I want to finish that quickly so that I can get it back to him. Knight of the Silver Circle by Duncan M. Hamilton is about dragons and knights. It's a very high fantasy trilogy, and I really enjoyed the first book, so I'm looking forward to the second one. So here's my completed makeup look with the hair down. Thanks for getting ready with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of my reading selections for this season. Give me any suggestions that you have below. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all of that fun stuff. And please give me feedback on how I'm doing because I really would love to know. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!